There are 20,000 species of bee in the world. This video is going to be talking about their rights, their potential for domestication, and their future. Bees generally don't have rights, or even much consideration to their welfare. Honey is now taken without destroying the hive using a movable comb hive, but bees are still subject to artificial feeding regimes in which sugar syrup and corn syrup are used to replace the honey taken, being handled and treated like a product and potentially killed, treatment with drugs and pesticides, transportation from one place to another like objects or livestock, and some colonies have even been slaughtered by being burned or gassed during winter to save on costs. This is all despite bees showing as much consciousness as many vertebrate mammals. They react to pain and make choices to avoid it. They perform complex social behaviours, including communicating with waggles where a food source is. They do this less so if a storm is coming, which shows they can decide whether or not it's a good idea. Bees are considered eusocial, with cooperative care of their young and division of labour. Their social behaviours and cognitive abilities rival that of many vertebrate mammals. From a utilitarian view, it's easy to see that maintaining a bee's ability to pollinate is most important, as a large part of the world we know depends on it. Ethical collection of honey is also defendable, but there's a lot of questionable areas in the way bees are treated that still need to be considered to truly consider the bee's welfare ethically. In many studies, bees easily show their preferences with tests to assert their choices and how hard they work for them. Radio tracking, colour tagging, experiments, and direct observation have all been used to help us work out what bees' preferences are. The rights and preferences of bees have as much reason to be defended as most charismatic megafauna, yet they currently are not treated as such. This could largely be interpreted to be because of their size and appearance. Price, in 2002, said, "Domestication is the process by which a population of animals becomes adapted to man and to the captive environment by some combination of genetic changes occurring over generations and environmentally induced developmental events recurring during each generation." Price's pre-adaptations for domestication include a requirement for that animal in human society. The fact that bees produce honey is a good means of this, but their presence isn't really required. They need to be fairly plastic behaviourally. This just isn't the case with bees. One of the reasons they function so well is how fixed their behaviours are. They also have to breed easily, which is certainly the case with bees. Prerequisite traits for domestication include a flexible diet. They pretty much need pollen. Other replacements are not ideal. They need a fast growth rate. They usually take less than a month to mature to a functional stage, but they don't tend to live long. They need to breed in captivity. This has been achieved in many studies, and is even taken as a hobby. Tendency not to panic was discussed earlier and is not ideal in bees. While bees do have a social hierarchy, they don't have the behavioural plasticity for a human to interact within this. Manageable size is also important, and bees are small enough to not be too much trouble, excepting for their quantity. A pleasant disposition is also useful. However, they tend to be goal-focused, and interactions by humans aren't appreciated, to say the least. In terms of the future of bees, there's cause for serious concern. In early 2007, rates of European honeybees dying out reached new proportions greater than has ever been seen in recent history. This has been referred to as colony collapse disorder. This is a huge concern for people, because roughly a third of food we eat is dependent on pollination by bees. In fact, here's a list of foods that require bee pollination to exist. Humans have yet to come anywhere near replicating the ability of bees to pollinate plants and create food in this way. It has therefore led to widespread scientific research to find the cause. Many possible causes of CCD have been proposed, but none of them have been entirely accepted by the scientific community. In 2010, Jeremy Bromenschank's study found a DNA-based virus and a fungus known as Nosema ceranae were found in all of the collapsed colonies in the study. It's not thought that either one of these could cause CCD alone, but the interaction between both of them has definite potential effect. In 2007, Israel acute paralysis virus was also found to be a significant factor. Pesticides classed as neonicotinoids were also considered to potentially have harmful effects, and have since been banned for 2 years by the European Union. If nothing is successful, bees are in very real danger of facing extinction. Suggestions have been made to phase out a majority of chemical pesticides. Increasing conservation and restoration of the bee's habitat is another very worthwhile step that has been suggested. Apart from their conservation, the way bees are being treated otherwise does not seem likely to change anytime soon. The world is becoming more aware of animal rights as time goes on. However, there are many animals that are considered more important in terms of their welfare. So a world in which bees are treated ethically, free of pain, unnecessary harm, and inconvenience is currently a long way off. It's hard to consider this fair when bees are such social, intelligent creatures with so much to offer.